What defines the timeless legacy of a queen? Is it her leadership, her grace, or the symbolism behind every gown she wore? Queen Elizabeth II's wardrobe was more than fashion. It was a tool of diplomacy, tradition, and elegance. From her iconic wedding dress to dazzling ceremonial gowns, her outfits told stories of resilience and monarchy. But which were her most luxurious looks? What made them unforgettable? And how did they reflect her reign? Let's embark on a journey through some of the most luxurious and iconic outfits Queen Elizabeth II ever wore. Beginning with the gown that started it all, her breathtaking wedding dress. 1. A wedding dress of hope. The year was 1947, and Britain was still reeling from the effects of World War II. Amid rationing and economic recovery, the nation found joy in the royal wedding of Princess Elizabeth and Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten on November 20th. This event became a beacon of hope for a country yearning for brighter days. For the occasion, Princess Elizabeth chose a gown designed by Norman Hartnell, a renowned British designer. Inspired by Botticelli's Primavera, the dress symbolized renewal and rebirth, reflecting the optimism of post-war Britain. It featured hand-embroidered floral motifs, including jasmine and orange blossoms, made of pearls and silk threads. These intricate details were a testament to the incredible craftsmanship that went into its creation. Remarkably, the silk used for the gown came from silkworms sourced in China rather than Japan or Italy, both of which had been Britain's wartime adversaries. The train and opulent 15 feet of silk and tulle added an unmatched grandeur to the dress. Despite its extravagance, the dress was paid for using ration coupons, a gesture that highlighted the princess's connection to the realities of her people. The gown's unveiling brought awe and admiration, solidifying its place as one of the most iconic wedding dresses in history. It wasn't just a dress, it was a symbol of unity, resilience, and a brighter future. As the ceremony ended, the princess took her first steps into a new chapter of her life and her country's history. 2. The coronation gown. The year was 1953, and the world's eyes were fixed on Westminster Abbey as a 25-year-old Princess Elizabeth ascended the throne to become Queen Elizabeth II. Her coronation on June 2nd was not only a momentous occasion for the monarchy, but also a spectacle of grandeur and tradition. At the heart of this historic event was the Queen's breathtaking coronation gown, a masterpiece created by none other than Norman Hartnell. Hartnell devoted months to designing and crafting the gown, drawing inspiration from centuries of royal coronation traditions. After presenting multiple sketches to the Queen, the final design was chosen: a dazzling white satin dress intricately embroidered with symbolic motifs representing the nations of the Commonwealth. These included the English Tudor rose, the Scottish thistle, the Irish shamrock, and the Canadian maple leaf, among others. Each emblem was hand-stitched using gold and silver thread, with added touches of seed pearls and sparkling crystals for a regal finish. The craftsmanship of the gown was unparalleled. It took Hartnell and his team of skilled seamstresses 8 months to bring the design to life. The Queen herself was deeply involved in the process, ensuring the gown not only adhered to tradition, but also reflected her vision of modern monarchy. The coronation gown wasn't just a one-time piece, it became a staple in her wardrobe, reappearing at 6 major events, including her opening of the New Zealand Parliament. This demonstrated not only its timeless elegance, but also the Queen's practicality in reusing such a significant outfit. As the Queen walked down the aisle of Westminster Abbey, draped in this magnificent gown, she radiated both youth and authority, embodying the balance of tradition and progress. It marked the beginning of a reign that would blend heritage with forward-thinking leadership. 3. The wattle dress. In 1954, Queen Elizabeth II embarked on her first royal tour of Australia, a historic visit that drew enormous crowds eager to catch a glimpse of their young monarch. At the time, Australia had a population of just 9 million, and it's estimated that 75% of the country saw the Queen in person during her 6-week tour. For such a momentous occasion, the Queen's wardrobe needed to reflect the importance of the visit, and one gown stood out above the rest: the wattle dress. Designed by Norman Hartnell, the wattle dress was a nod to Australia's national flower, the golden wattle. The gown was crafted from delicate gold tulle and adorned with intricate embroidery of wattle blossoms, adding both glamour and cultural symbolism. The shimmering gold fabric captured the Australian sunlight, making the Queen appear almost radiant during formal events, particularly the state banquet in Sydney where she debuted the dress. This gown wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a diplomatic gesture. By incorporating the wattle, the Queen acknowledged Australia's national identity and her deep respect for the Commonwealth nations. The dress resonated so strongly with Australians that it was later immortalized in a portrait by celebrated artist William Dargie. The painting, which depicted the Queen in her wattle dress, became one of the most recognizable images of her early reign. The wattle dress was a perfect example of how Queen Elizabeth used fashion as a means of connection. By thoughtfully embracing the symbols of the countries she visited, she reinforced her role as a unifying figure. Her choice of attire wasn't just regal, it was a powerful tool of diplomacy. 4. The Netherlands look. In 1958, Queen Elizabeth II made a state visit to the Netherlands, further solidifying the bonds between the United Kingdom and its European neighbors. As with all her official visits, her wardrobe was carefully curated to embody elegance, diplomacy, and British craftsmanship. On the first night of the visit during a grand state banquet, the Queen stepped out in a dazzling evening gown designed by her trusted couturier, Norman Hartnell. The gown was a masterpiece of Hartnell's signature style, sparkling embellishments, intricate embroidery, and a voluminous skirt. Its shimmering fabric was adorned with delicate jewel-like shapes, designed to catch the light and captivate onlookers. The gown's timeless beauty represented the best of British design, a statement that resonated on the international stage. However, it wasn't just the gown that stole the show. Atop her head, the Queen wore the Vladimir tiara, one of her most versatile and iconic pieces of jewelry. Originally belonging to Grand Duchess Vladimir of Russia, the tiara was acquired by Queen Mary, Elizabeth's grandmother, and passed down through the royal family. For the Netherlands banquet, the Queen chose to pair the tiara with its classic pearl settings, lending an air of understated sophistication. The choice of pearls was deliberate. Pearls symbolize purity and wisdom, qualities that aligned with the Queen's image as a thoughtful and gracious leader. Combined with the gown's shimmering details, the entire ensemble perfectly balanced modern glamour with traditional royal elegance. As the evening unfolded, the Queen's attire was more than just a display of luxury. It was a subtle nod to the deep-rooted connections between the British monarchy and European royalty. Her appearance at the banquet underscored her ability to use fashion to enhance diplomatic relations, leaving a lasting impression on her hosts. 5. Metallics of the 60s. By the early 1960s, Queen Elizabeth II had established herself as a modern monarch, adapting her wardrobe to reflect the evolving tastes of the time. The decade's bold trends, including metallic fabrics and experimental designs, made their way into the Queen's evening wear, where they were tailored to maintain her regal image. One such example was her appearance in 1963 at a state banquet with the Belgian royal family. The Queen wore a fitted evening gown made of luxurious silk tulle, featuring shimmering diamond-shaped beading across the bodice. The metallic embellishments added a sense of opulence without overshadowing her understated grace. This particular gown was designed to strike a balance between the glamour of the 60s and the timeless sophistication expected of a monarch. It was a perfect reflection of how the Queen embraced contemporary fashion trends while staying true to her regal identity. The accessories completed the look with a touch of grandeur. She paired the gown with a silver evening purse, white gloves, and a stunning diamond necklace, reinforcing her status as a style icon of the era. The overall ensemble highlighted the Queen's ability to blend tradition with modernity, a theme that ran throughout her reign. These metallic-themed gowns became a signature of the Queen's evening wardrobe during the 60s, a decade that saw her embracing a more glamorous style for state events and formal occasions. Each gown was meticulously crafted, ensuring it exuded the sophistication expected of a monarch while subtly nodding to the cultural shifts of the time. As the 1960s progressed, these shimmering, bejeweled ensembles became an integral part of Queen Elizabeth's public image, symbolizing her adaptability and enduring presence on the world stage. 6. Hollywood glamour in California. By the early 1980s, Queen Elizabeth II was a well-traveled monarch, known for her elegance and adaptability. When she visited California in 1983, she embraced the glitz and glamour of Hollywood with a bold fashion statement that captured the spirit of the era. During a dinner hosted by President Ronald Reagan and First Lady Nancy Reagan, the Queen stunned onlookers with an avant-garde metallic gold gown that marked a departure from her typically traditional style. Designed with dramatic ruffled sleeves and adorned with jewel-encrusted bows at the shoulders, the gown reflected the extravagant fashion trends of the 80s. The dropped waist and shimmering gold fabric added a touch of Hollywood drama, perfectly suited for the occasion. The Queen's choice to wear such an unconventional design demonstrated her willingness to embrace the local culture while maintaining her regal poise. This wasn't just an ordinary state dinner. It was a star-studded event attended by celebrities like Michael Caine and other Hollywood icons. The Queen's outfit not only fit the glamour of the evening, but also showed her ability to adapt to the unique atmosphere of her surroundings. Paired with simple jewelry and her signature white gloves, the ensemble struck a balance between royal elegance and California chic. The visit itself was memorable, with highlights including a tour of Yosemite National Park and a stormy ride up to the Reagan Ranch, which the Queen famously described as terribly exciting. Her fashion choices during this trip mirrored her adventurous spirit and ability to connect with people across the globe. As the Queen dazzled California in her bold attire, she solidified her place not just as a monarch, but as a cultural icon who could effortlessly blend tradition with the trends of the moment, leaving a lasting impression wherever she went. 7. Silver Jubilee style. By 1977, Queen Elizabeth II had spent 25 years on the throne, a milestone celebrated with grandeur and global admiration. Her Silver Jubilee was a momentous occasion marked by lavish ceremonies, international tours, and, of course, exquisite fashion. One of her standout looks during this year was a seafoam green gem-encrusted sheath dress, worn during a state banquet in Canada. The gown, shimmering with delicate beadwork and intricate details, represented the elegance and dignity of a monarch who had gracefully led her nation for a quarter of a century. The seafoam green hue was a departure from her preferred metallics, adding a softer yet equally regal touch to her Jubilee wardrobe. This bold yet refined choice highlighted her adaptability, even as she celebrated a tradition-bound milestone. Paired with one of her favorite tiaras, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, the ensemble embodied the Queen's blend of simplicity and opulence. The tiara's history, dating back to her grandmother Queen Mary, added a sentimental layer to the look, making it not only visually stunning but also deeply personal. Throughout the Jubilee celebrations, the Queen's wardrobe showcased her versatility, ranging from traditional metallics to vibrant colors. Each outfit reflected her commitment to honoring the diversity of her Commonwealth while maintaining her own timeless style. In New Zealand, she wore an elaborate gown for the state opening of Parliament, and in the United Kingdom, she donned soft pastels for more intimate gatherings. As the Jubilee year came to a close, the Queen's wardrobe served as a reminder of her dual role as both a steadfast symbol of tradition and a modern leader. Her outfits during this milestone reflected the values of her reign, grace, unity, and an unwavering dedication to her people. 8. Diamond Jubilee elegance. By 2012, Queen Elizabeth II had spent 60 years on the throne, a reign marked by resilience, diplomacy, and unwavering dedication. Her Diamond Jubilee celebrations were a testament to her enduring legacy and were accompanied by some of her most memorable fashion moments. Among the standout looks of this milestone year was the gown worn in her official portrait, a breathtaking creation by her trusted dressmaker, Angela Kelly. The gown was crafted from white silk and adorned with intricate lace, silver sequins, and scalloped edges that shimmered under the light. Its design was both timeless and celebratory, embodying the Queen's regal presence while honoring the grandeur of the occasion. The decision to keep the dress simple yet elegant reflected her understated approach to leadership, letting the milestone itself shine through. Of course, the accessories elevated the look to true royal splendor. She paired the gown with the diamond diadem, one of the most iconic crowns in her collection, originally created for King George IV in the early 1800s. Completing the ensemble was Queen Victoria's collet necklace, a piece steeped in history and tradition, worn by queens during coronation since 1902. Her wardrobe during the Jubilee celebrations reflected a perfect balance of modern elegance and historical homage. She wore dazzling metallic gowns for concerts and celebrations, and for the royal variety performance, she opted for a silvery, bejeweled dress, drawing from fabric stored since 1961. Each outfit not only honored her reign, but also represented the continuity and stability of the monarchy. As the Queen marked this extraordinary milestone, her wardrobe stood as a visual reminder of her dedication to tradition and her ability to remain relevant through the decades. The Diamond Jubilee was more than a celebration of her reign. It was a global moment of admiration for a monarch whose elegance transcended time. 9. The Burmese ruby tiara. In 1992, Queen Elizabeth II attended a state banquet in Paris wearing one of her most symbolic and luxurious ensembles. The year had been challenging, marked by personal and public scrutiny due to the separation of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Yet, even amidst such turbulence, the Queen's choice of attire conveyed strength, dignity, and resilience. For the occasion, she wore a long-sleeved white gown adorned with intricate floral-patterned embellishments, made from pearls and tiny gemstones. The understated elegance of the gown allowed her dazzling jewelry to take center stage. Most striking was the Burmese ruby tiara, a stunning piece crafted in 1973, using 96 rubies gifted by the people of Myanmar as a wedding present decades earlier. The tiara wasn't just a stunning accessory, it carried deep cultural significance. In Burmese tradition, rubies are believed to ward off evil and disease. By wearing this tiara, the Queen made a subtle yet powerful statement, suggesting a sense of protection and fortitude during a difficult time. She paired the tiara with a matching ruby and diamond necklace and earrings, creating a cohesive look that exuded regal confidence. The banquet ensemble was a masterclass in how Queen Elizabeth used fashion to communicate messages beyond words. The tiara, with its symbolic meaning, and the white gown, signifying purity and strength, came together to project an image of stability and grace. This outfit was a reminder of the Queen's ability to rise above challenges and remain steadfast in her role as a unifying figure. Through her choices, she reassured her people that even in trying times, the monarchy would endure. As she departed the banquet, draped in her dazzling tiara and gown, she left behind a message of quiet resilience and timeless elegance. 10. The State Opening of Parliament. The State Opening of Parliament has always been one of the most ceremonial and symbolic events in the British monarchy, and Queen Elizabeth II's attire during these occasions reflected the gravity of her role as head of state. Over the decades, her appearances at these openings were marked by some of her most dazzling and iconic looks, each one a testament to the splendor of the monarchy. One of her most memorable ensembles for the state opening occurred on November 15, 2006. The Queen arrived in an embellished white gown designed by her trusted dressmaker, Angela Kelly. The gown's intricate silver detailing shimmered under the lights, exuding both elegance and authority. Complementing the gown was a white fur stole and her signature white gloves, which added to her timeless royal aesthetic. The highlight of her outfit, however, was the diamond diadem, a crown that has become synonymous with her image. This stunning piece, originally created for King George IV in the 1820s, featured an intricate design of roses, shamrocks, and thistles, representing England, Ireland, and Scotland. During the ceremony, the diadem was replaced by the imperial state crown, a heavier and more elaborate piece adorned with 2,868 diamonds as well as rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. The Queen's ability to wear these regal items with such grace reflected her composure and poise. Her gown and regalia stood out not just for their opulence but also for their symbolic importance. They embodied the continuity of the monarchy and the ceremonial role of the sovereign in Britain's constitutional framework. Every detail of her attire was carefully curated to highlight her enduring dedication to tradition and service. As the state opening of Parliament continued to evolve over the years, the Queen's timeless elegance remained a reassuring constant, underscoring her role as a stabilizing force for the nation. 11. Royal Garter Day. Every June, Windsor Castle transforms into a spectacle of pomp and tradition for the Order of the Garter ceremony, one of the most prestigious events in the royal calendar. The Queen's attire for Royal Garter Day consistently reflected the grandeur and history of this ancient order, and in 2011 she once again left an unforgettable impression with her impeccable style. For this event, the Queen wore the ceremonial robes of the Order of the Garter, a deep midnight blue velvet cape adorned with intricate insignias and delicate gold embroidery. The cape was fastened with an ornate clasp, and its flowing train was carried by an attendant, emphasizing the regal pageantry of the occasion. Beneath the robes, the Queen's choice of attire was characteristically elegant, a long white gown with subtle embellishments that complemented the richness of the velvet. Her accessories were equally striking. The Queen wore the Garter Star, a dazzling brooch featuring 838 brilliant diamonds arranged in a starburst pattern, pinned proudly to her robes. On her head, she opted for a classic white hat with delicate trimming, a subtle nod to her more understated approach during the ceremony. The overall ensemble perfectly balanced tradition with modern refinement. This annual event holds deep personal significance for the Queen, as the Order of the Garter is Britain's oldest and most exclusive order of chivalry, dating back to the 1340s. Her attire on Royal Garter Day reflected her role as both a monarch and a custodian of history, honoring the traditions of the past while remaining a beacon of stability for the future. As the Queen stood among the knights and ladies of the Garter, her majestic appearance reminded all in attendance of the enduring legacy of this time-honored ceremony, blending centuries-old customs with the grace and elegance of a modern monarch. 12. The service of the Order of the Bath. In 2014, Queen Elizabeth II attended the traditional service of the Order of the Bath at Westminster Abbey, an event that epitomizes the grandeur and symbolism of royal ceremonies. As a monarch deeply rooted in tradition, her attire for this occasion reflected the solemnity and historic importance of the event. The Queen wore a pristine, long-sleeved white gown, simple yet elegant, adorned with delicate embellishments that added a touch of subtle glamour. Her accessories, however, elevated the ensemble to a regal masterpiece. She donned a ruby-red velvet ceremonial cape, embroidered with golden tassels and insignias of the order, which flowed gracefully behind her as she walked through the abbey. A young page followed closely, ensuring the train of her cape remained pristine and untouched by the ground, further emphasizing the majesty of the occasion. The Queen also wore a striking diamond tiara from the Crown Amethyst suite of jewels, a piece that added a fairy tale-like quality to her appearance. The intricate design of the tiara, combined with its brilliant sparkle, reflected the timeless elegance that had become synonymous with her style. Completing the look were her signature white gloves and low-heeled silver shoes, a practical yet regal choice that underscored her attention to detail. The service of the Order of the Bath is steeped in ritual and symbolism, with the Queen presenting gold and silver coins as a ceremonial gesture of surrendering worldly treasures. Her attire during the event was more than just beautiful. It represented her role as the protector of traditions that date back centuries. As she left Westminster Abbey that day, the Queen once again showcased her ability to honor history through her fashion, a living reminder of the continuity and dignity of the British monarchy. 13. The shimmering gown at the 1969 Royal Variety Performance. In 1969, Queen Elizabeth II attended the Royal Variety Performance, an event that combined entertainment with tradition. For this special occasion, the Queen chose an evening gown that perfectly reflected the glamour of the late 60s, while staying true to her royal elegance. This gown was a remarkable departure from her more understated styles, embracing the bold trends of the time while maintaining the sophistication expected of a monarch. The dress, designed by Norman Hartnell, was made of silver silk tulle and adorned with intricate crystal embellishments that shimmered under the stage lights. The gown's flowing silhouette was accented with a modestly cinched waist, striking a balance between modern fashion and the timeless grace for which the Queen was known. The sparkling embellishments created an almost ethereal effect, as though the Queen herself was radiating light. The choice of accessories further enhanced the look. She wore a diamond necklace and matching earrings, their brilliance echoing the gown's shimmering details. On her head, she wore a delicate tiara, which added the perfect regal touch without overwhelming the ensemble. Her silver evening clutch and white gloves tied the entire outfit together, creating a harmonious and memorable look. This particular royal variety performance was attended by a host of notable figures from the entertainment world, and the Queen's outfit matched the celebratory atmosphere of the evening. The gown captured the spirit of the era, embracing the optimism and creative energy of the 60s while remaining deeply rooted in the traditions of the monarchy. As the performance came to an end and the Queen bid farewell to the performers, her dazzling gown left a lasting impression on the audience. It was a perfect representation of her ability to adapt to changing times while remaining a steadfast symbol of grace and dignity. 14. The 2019 State Opening of Parliament. By 2019, Queen Elizabeth II had presided over the state opening of Parliament 65 times, each occasion marked by ceremonial grandeur and a display of regal elegance. Despite the weight of tradition, the Queen's attire during this particular event demonstrated her ability to adapt while maintaining her signature dignity. For this opening, the Queen wore an elegant white gown designed by Angela Kelly, reflecting her consistent preference for simplicity paired with luxury. The gown, subtly embroidered with silver thread, shimmered under the lights of the historic event, creating an air of timeless grace. The ensemble closely resembled the gown she had worn for her Diamond Jubilee portrait in 2012, offering a subtle nod to the continuity of her reign. While her attire exudes tradition, one notable change caught public attention. The Queen chose not to wear the heavy imperial state crown, which she had traditionally donned for such occasions. Instead, the crown was carried beside her on a velvet cushion, a practical choice that showcased her adaptability in later years. In its place, the Queen wore the lighter diamond diadem, a piece that has long been associated with her role as sovereign. Her choice to simplify her regalia in this instance reflected her practical approach to balancing tradition with modern realities. The diamond diadem's intricate floral design of roses, shamrocks, and thistles still symbolized her role as the unifying figure of the United Kingdom, ensuring the moment retained its full ceremonial weight. As the Queen delivered her speech with poise, her attire sent a message of resilience and steadfastness, even as the nation faced uncertain times. Her ability to adapt while maintaining the dignity of her role once again underscored her enduring legacy as a monarch who honored tradition without being bound by it. 15. The 2012 Royal Variety Performance. The Royal Variety Performance has always been one of Queen Elizabeth II's favorite annual events, and her attendance in 2012 was especially significant, as it coincided with her Diamond Jubilee celebrations. As the occasion demanded, her outfit that evening was nothing short of spectacular, perfectly blending elegance, glamour, and a touch of nostalgia. For the performance, the Queen wore a stunning floor-length gown crafted by Angela Kelly. The dress featured a shimmering silver fabric adorned with intricate beading and subtle metallic embellishments, creating a look that was regal yet contemporary. What made this gown particularly remarkable was the fabric itself, which had been stored in the royal archives since 1961. Its reuse symbolized the Queen's thrifty yet thoughtful approach to fashion, a commitment to sustainability long before it became a trend. The gown's intricate beadwork sparkled under the stage lights, catching the attention of the audience and adding to the glamour of the event. The Queen paired the dress with understated diamond jewelry and her signature silver shoes, completing the ensemble with effortless sophistication. Her look was a perfect reflection of the performance itself, an evening filled with grandeur, entertainment, and celebration. Her choice to wear such a meaningful gown also highlighted her enduring connection to her past, as the fabric tied together decades of her reign. This subtle nod to history, combined with her modern approach to elegance, demonstrated her ability to honor tradition while embracing innovation. As the evening concluded, the Queen's dazzling ensemble left a lasting impression on the performers, dignitaries, and audience members alike. It was a fitting look for an event that celebrated her 60 years on the throne, encapsulating her grace, poise, and ability to blend the past and present seamlessly. With this, her Diamond Jubilee year came to a close, leaving behind a legacy of elegance and timelessness. With that, we have reached the end of today's video. If you have come this far with us, be sure to check out other videos on the channel.